Yeah, so what a great topic, man. Just, right now, I'm just laughing. 'Tis the season for
It
refinances.
really is, man.
Man.
It's nuts. Yeah, I know people are hearing about it. Loan officers are, hearing people say that.
Yeah.
And but man, if they're not diving in and actually executing a good plan around it, boy,
Yeah.
they're missing out. Because you had a good experience even just last week that you shared on Breakfast Club.
Mhm.
The coolest things that most important things I think you said was that you realize that servicers are out there making those calls
Oh,
right
they're
now
making the
too.
calls, man.
So,
Yeah.
it's there's never been a more important time to engage, right?
Yeah, well, hey, and I think about this. So we have to make our own economy. And kind of you take a step back, the first thing I think about is whoever's making the most offers wins, period.
Right.
Whether that's with agents, whether that's with sphere of influence, past clients. And so we've been really hyper focused on the past clients because there will be a refinance boom. The question is, will you be a part of it?
Mm,
And some people are like, yeah, but everybody I have, when they bought, they were in the threes. But there's more opportunity than that because there's 2 whole years, 2023 and 2024. And we talked about this. And there were months where it was lower, but the average was 6.7 to 7.5%.
right. Yeah.
And somebody may say, well, that it doesn't make sense. But it does make sense because, like Frank, and you, this whole conversation started last week. You said, or you asked me something, and I said, "Bro, I put 5 refi applications in on Friday." And he said, "Well, what'd you do? How'd you do it?" And here's what we did. And I'll just talk through this. So, first thing I think about is this: begin to identify that there is a segment of our past client database and people that closed in the last 2 years that are 6.8 to 7.5%. So what we did was started building the list. And that way we know who to specifically target. So for us, it was our past clients. And maybe like we've done some really cool things with a title company, and they've got past clients, and he sent me their list. And so I've got this list that's so strategic because right now, and I don't know when you're listening to this, but you can, what I'm seeing on the broker side, because I'm a mortgage broker, is we can do 5.9 to about 6.25 with no points on a conventional refi.
Mm,
So, Frank, the reason that's so beautiful is, I mean, you can get their closing cost really low
yeah.
and they're dropping almost a full percent in interest rate. And when you target the higher loan amounts above 300,000,
Right.
I've got, so I've got a 1.4 million. His one is going from the mid sevens to the low sixes on a jumbo,
Mm.
Frank, saving him 2 grand a month.
It's a lot, man.
How do you say no to that? And he
Yeah.
recovers the expense in like 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and there's no points. And so, and then I've got another one that I just locked in, and you're literally there at 6.99. And listen, you may say, well, it doesn't make sense. This guy's made sense. Listen to what we did on this one is he wanted a zero cost refi. Zero zero means no
Yeah.
closing
No,
costs,
no
no
cost.
money
Yeah.
added to
Nothing.
his loan,
Mm.
nothing.
Hmm.
So listen to this, because you would look at it and say, well, it doesn't make sense. He had mortgage insurance. His values have gone up. And so going from 6.9 to 6.49 with zero cost, Frank, it saves him 350 a month.
At no cost.
Yeah, and we could have done
And
5.99, but he
yeah, and
said, I don't know if
got
I'll
rid
be
of
here in
the
two
got rid of
years.
the MI.
Yeah, he said, I don't know if I'll be here in 2 years. And so
Mm.
he's like, I'd rather save money the minute we close and do it. We did it on a 28-year note.
No
So,
kidding. Oh, you did
so
that. Yeah, that's a thing that people don't do very
they
often.
forget.
Right.
So, and that's what I told him as I said, so you're dropping a 0.5% rate, saving over 300 a month. You'll actually be a month ahead of where you're currently at because we're
At
doing a 28-year note. And it's like, okay, how do I say no to that? And
right.
so we've got it, and you got to realize, even for the people, I've got one that we just closed last week, Danny. And what was interesting on his, Frank, he was at, I don't know, 6.9. We got him to 5.9. I think we actually caught that one at 5.875. But here's what was interesting is even though he didn't have 20% equity, his MI was like almost 200 bucks, and it's a 90% LTV. It's $53 a month.
Mm.
So not only did he save the principal and interest, but he saved the MI almost 100 plus dollars a month at MI. And it just absolutely makes sense. So I just, our whole point of jumping on today is
And
don't,
I just got to interrupt.
yeah.
If people aren't picking this up, it's like stop talking yourself out of somebody else's benefit,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Don't
For
talk
sure.
yourself out of
Yeah.
something where
Yeah.
somebody could actually genuinely benefit if you just
Right.
maybe take the time, look at all the numbers. In this case, you went from a guy who has MI, still has MI, but because the LTV improved so much, MI dropped
Oh,
significantly. Still
significantly.
a great savings for the
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah.
don't talk yourself out of this. You know, you
Yeah.
just and I like the way you please kind of share that script if you could before we leave. Uh, you know that you brought up on Breakfast Club that everybody wanted to have that thing
Oh,
because
the
that
one
just
that was the
that laid it
text I
out
sent
so
to one of my clients.
clear. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so clear. It was like, hey, this is
Yeah.
what happened. Maybe it should take a look at it. You're like presenting. Maybe we should have a look,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all we
Hey,
can ask is maybe have a look, right? So
that's well that okay, so look, and I'm gonna say just a couple of summary points and then I'll end
okay,
with the text and we'll get out of here.
okay,
So number one, understand there is a refinance opportunity right now. The question is if you're going to be a part of it. Number two, build your list, but don't take too long to build a list. If you don't have
mm,
one, you can go into Model Match. It'll pull every, most, not every, but it's pretty dang accurate. Put your NMLS in there to pull all the loans you did, or get a list from a title company, which we talked about on Breakfast Club, Frank. I did. And they gave me hundreds of people. Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. I'd also love to hear from you. Make sure to drop a comment below and let me know what you think, or what it is you want to see next. And we'll see you on the inside. See you. Um, so then the next thing is touch them four different ways: phone calls, uh, text, emails, and targeted ads. And then on the talking points, here was something I used to resist. Oh, the Fed doesn't. I used to always try to correct people. This is so
mm.
funny, Frank. I mean, my brain is like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Fed has nothing to do with interest
Right,
rate.
right.
But now what I've learned is lean into it.
Yeah.
Hey, and so like I'll give you an example. I'm just telling people, hey, the Fed dropped rates last week. Let's jump in a quick 10-minute call and see if it might make sense. It may or may not, but it's worth investing 10 minutes to see if we could save you hundreds or
Dude,
even
that is
thousands
just
of dollars.
so
So, and
brilliant.
then here's the text that I sent. So I have, even clients we talked to in September, we were doing our past client. I've got one right now. Kara, we actually talked to her in September. Frank, she said, no way, I don't want to refi. I'm going to sell in a year. Well, guess what? I remembered she was at 7.375 this last week. I just shot her a quick text and did a quick phone call, and she called me back and said, hey, things have changed. I may want some cash. Well,
Mm,
guess what? I literally locked her in yesterday.
mm,
And so it's like, don't even look at the ones that you talked to 3 to 6 months ago who said no, call them. And here was one of the scripts. And then we'll give you more if you want to book in, go to freedomplanningcall.com.
right,
Carl created the whole refi campaign. It's like a $500 value.
right. Refi
Uh,
toolkit.
yeah, Refi Toolkit. That's what it is. So here was one in text I sent to my buddy Alden, who's one of my past clients, and I've known him for like 15 years. But as I do a lot of my clients, and he's got a 500,000 dollar house. And here's what I sent him. And this is just a quick text because some people I could call, some people I was texting, and you do a mix of all of it.
Mm,
And here's what I sent that got him to complete the app. I didn't even talk to him. He said, send me the app, I'll fill it out. I said, with favorable market moves this week, we're getting really close to a refinance opportunity. The rate range is fluctuating from 5.9 to 6.25 with 0 points. If refinancing is still an option, I think we should complete an application and get you ready to lock in. And here's a key, uh, because rates have been volatile, but there's a small window where you can still lock in. Are you still interested in a refi? And he said, bro, send me the link. And he
mm,
filled it out. And so right now we're in the process of locking his loan in. But I think there's a couple of key pieces. You don't even need that much. Um, the key pieces to this were for me it was I know he's sitting at 6.99 and I know his strike rate and I mean for me it's his target. He wanted to see if he could drop it a full percent. So that's why I said, hey, the rates right now it's between 5.9 and 6.25 with 0 points. The other thing was this: I think we should complete an application to get you ready
yeah.
triggers their mind. And then here's one thing people forget because the markets are volatile. See,
Yeah.
what people don't know, and we have to communicate this. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, there was another refinance window, and I locked in several refis that. Here's what we're seeing in the market. And when you're listening to this, the market could be a little bit different. But Frank, the market will push down to 5.9, 5.8, 5.7, and then it bounced right back up to six,
Yeah.
six and an eighth, six and a quarter,
Right. Right.
6.3. And it literally bounced in a day, and it's taken about 3 weeks for it to come back
Come
down.
back. Yeah.
And then it'll bounce in a day and it takes about 3 weeks to come down. And those are typical market moves. And so my encouragement, if you're listening, is number one, make the call. Fastest way to get it.
Mm.
Hey, Fed lowered rates. And if you know their rate, you're at 6.875. We may be able to lower it by a full percent with very little cost. Let's jump on a quick 10-minute call. And in that call, I just talked to him. Hey, tell me your goals. How long are you going to stay in the house? Are you making extra principal payments? Are there any significant changes? And then I'm just listening, and it's like, oh, wow, it sounds like it really might work. And then I just text them a link and say, complete the app. I need a day to set it up. If it makes sense, we'll lock it in and we'll get you closed in less than 30 days.
Mm.
Here's the good news. You get your escrows back. The next good news is you skip a month's house payment. And the third good news is we can adjust the terms so that you don't lose your momentum of paying that house down.
Wonderful. Great stuff, man.
Man,
Thanks, Steve.
it's a great opportunity.
It
So,
really
and I
is.
really think everybody, I mean, you could put 5, 10, that's what we're doing, loans a month just in refis right now.
Yeah.
So
Yep. It's only going to get better. I'll
it
tell you, man.
is.
But now's the time because I'll go back to what we started with.
The servicers,
The
they
call.
three of the
They're
five last
calling,
week
dude.
that I talked
Yeah.
to had already talked to a servicer, and they
Yep.
chose me because of the relationship. But I'm telling you, those servicers, they know
They're
those people are
calling.
going to
They're not
refi. Yeah,
stupid. Right.
yeah, and they're going skinny. They're going skinny. So
Hmm.
you just got to set your where you feel comfortable. You know what you got to do on refis. So
Yep. Yep. There you go. Good
I
stuff,
love
Steve.
it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, bro. So go to
Always good. Always good.
freedomplanningcall.com if you want help.
Yeah.
Freedomplanningcall.com. Get some good help.
Yeah, and thank you guys for just being a part of our community. Love the conversation. And if you're not going to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, come join us, Frank. Man, we got a lot of good stuff happening.
Dude, it's
So
so great. Breakfast Club is the ultimate way to start the
it's
day
great,
for a
man.
loan.
Today was
It's
like
so
a
good.
slam dunk between easy bake and fix and flips and refis, and also what to get your wife for Christmas. It was a good
Right.
morning.
I mean, that was huge.
That was, I mean,
Yeah.
we covered a lot. So,
Yeah. All
all right,
right.
guys.
Good stuff.
See you.
Adios.